Guys, it's me, Robert, from Mission Star Podcast, with Ashley Burch. She also did Hey Ash, Whatcha Playin, and Borderlands 2, Tiny Tina. So, first off, where's your brother?
He's at work.
He's at work, so
Yeah.
he's just want to go say
He's working really hard. Gearbox is working on some new projects right now, and they need him on the story side of stuff. So he's doing his job, bringing you guys some more good games.
Like, don't you also have to do a job, for more voice acting at Gearbox?
Oh well, yeah, I don't know. It's not like a 9-to-5 situation though. I'm not, so yeah.
So aside from doing, before I get later into that, so doing other voices for other companies, do you feel like you can bring a little bit like a broader personality to those? Like, instead of having it like, oh, it feels more like Tiny Tina's personality, but like, this still feels different from her.
Yeah, I've gotten the opportunity to be in a lot of awesome games like Awesome Knots and Aliens Colonial Marines and Saints Row 4 and stuff like that. And yeah, every time it's a completely new challenge and a completely new character. And even Isla, who's in Awesome Knots, she's still a crazy little girl, but she's crazy in a different way. So yeah.
Another question is, so when you and your brother are kind of like writing scripts for like Hey Ash, Whatcha Playin, so what's the thought process behind it? Like, do you guys just like mosey around the house and just throw ideas back and forth?
So it depends. So for me, sometimes I think like I just want to write an episode about a game. Like, I like this game, or like I feel like there's something with this game that I could just force an episode out of. Anthony often starts with like, this line of dialogue would be funny, and then he finds a way to like put that into an episode about a game. But often we write, more frequently we've been writing together, like collaborating on scripts, but a lot of the time I'll write a script and then send it out and get feedback, and then he'll write a script, etc. But recently we've been writing together, which has been really fun actually, and I think it makes the scripts better.
Oh, okay. Have you ever heard of a game called the Stanley Parable?
Yes. I love the Stanley Parable.
So, do you guys, and not to suggest it or anything, but you guys probably might want to do an episode about that?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, the thing about the Stanley Parable is that it's already really clever and funny on its own, and it's sort of critiquing and like making a statement about games in and of themselves, which is kind of what we do in a much worse way in Hey Ash. So I'm not really sure what we could say about the Stanley Parable that it hasn't already just said itself by existing. So we'll see if we can find something.
So another question is, so obviously you got your dad. Does he also take a big part in the writing, or?
No.
Like...
No. We just tell him to say stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
But sometimes, does it like take a while, for him to get like the lines right and stuff?
Sometimes it takes him quite a while. Sometimes Dad likes to inflect, and the whole thing about his character obviously is that he doesn't. He just is emotionless. But he has an issue sometimes with phrasing things as if they're a question. So for like, say, had a big orgy, he'll say like, had a big orgy? And we're like, no, it's not a question. You want to just say it deadpan. He's like, had a big orgy. We're like, no, had a big orgy. Just say it like that. So sometimes it's like that for like a few minutes, but he always ends up getting it eventually.
Okay. So I recently saw like a few episodes about the female gamers. Like, did you traveling to LA and all that? Did you actually have to get used to the actors and not actually have like background fighting and stuff?
No. I mean, the whole point of those episodes is that the whole like fake girl gamer witch hunt, we're all against each other thing is kind of stupid, and that we're all gamers and we should all just hang out and be friends because that's what you're supposed to do. And honestly, in the industry, it's not the women being catty to each other, it's people putting that on us. And so all the people that worked on that episode were my friends, or friends of people that are involved in the crew. So we all just got together and had a ball.
Yeah. Well, I kind of think that like probably how people kind of like stereotype girl gamers is like either it's a bit too extreme, like, or they kind of like twist it to like a bit of a sexual sort of like fantasy with controllers, which doesn't really seem like the right image. And I guess that's what you guys are trying to like come forth with, the message, making those episodes.
Yeah, pretty much what we were just trying to say is that like trying to make people justify their nerdiness is a really silly thing, and it's not about how nerdy you are, it's not about what you do. It's about loving the games, and that's that's all. That's the only qualification that you need. There's no need to there's no barrier to entry. Like if you play games, you're a gamer, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And people like women, if they want to dress sexy or do sexy cosplay or whatever, that also doesn't matter. It's their prerogative, and it's showing a love of the games. So that's all that matters.
Yeah. Another question, but this time it's now Borderlands 2. So did you ever have like a night where 4 of you are all playing Borderlands 2, just having a good show time, and just kind of critiquing the game for some what they could have done better, or what it feels so fun to just go out and just in the world of Pandora and just explore.
Just the experience of playing the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I played it actually with Anthony and I think our friend Brad Nicholson and sometimes our friend Aaron Lindy, and it was great. It was a little anxiety-inducing, I think, for Anthony because he'd worked on it and had written all the lines and was kind of seeing how he would respond to different things. But it's a great game and it's super funny, and yeah, I had a ball playing it. I had a lot of fun playing it, and it was really surreal to know that Anthony wrote everything that's in that game. But yeah, it's even without the fact that I'm in it and that Anthony wrote it and all this stuff, it's a really solid gaming experience, I think.
So, since you did, obviously, as I said before, you did the voice for Tiny Tina, so what actually gave you the idea to do voice acting?
Metal Gear Solid, actually. When I was a kid, I played Metal Gear Solid. I was 8, and it had never really occurred to me, because I was a dumb 8-year-old, that people provide voices for things like cartoons and video games and stuff. And the fact that Kojima, being the cinematic dude that he is, made the choice of whenever a new character was introduced, having their name and then the name of the actor, kind of clicked something in my dumb kid brain and was like, oh, whoa, people voice these characters. That's awesome. I want to do that. So pretty much ever since I played Metal Gear Solid, I was obsessed with David Hayter and Jennifer Hale, and I was just like, this is what I want to do. And I'm super, super lucky that I've been able to fulfill that dream.
So if you actually did you actually meet him? If you did, did you actually sort of freak out?
I met Jennifer Hale. And she is easily one of the nicest people that I've literally ever met. And I've met some people that have been in really cool stuff and whatever, but I was legitimately nervous to meet Jennifer Hale because she was one of my idols growing up. So, but she was so sweet, and we actually share a lot of the same ideals as far as how women are portrayed in games and kind of raising the bar of the kind of female characters that we write and that kind of thing. So it was an amazing experience meeting her. She's a really, really awesome woman.
Okay, well, we gotta end this, and before we end this, so can you say something in Tiny Tina's voice?
What you want me to say, girl?
Can you say Robert is a big poopy butt from Mission Star Podcast?
Robert is a big poopy butt from
Mission Star Podcast.
Ninja Star Podcast?
Mission Star.
Mission Star Podcast.
Robert is a big poopy butt from Mission Star Podcast.
Thanks, Ashley.
You're welcome.